How's everyone doing? Today I have a Blu-ray update, 15 pickups right here, and if you've seen any of these movies, definitely let me know what you think of them. Thumbnail face. And one thing I wanted to show before I started getting into the movies was the t-shirt that I have on. Last time I wore this, I got a lot of comments asking me where I got it from. I didn't really show it on full display. You just saw the front part right here. It's a Reanimator t-shirt, and I'll go ahead and show it to you right there. Hopefully that's in frame and everything. But it's an awesome shirt, and I got it from Bone Crusher Clothing. I'll put a link down below for their Instagram. And really nice guy, the owner. Has a lot of great shirts and cool designs. I love the heck out of this movie, and the shirt was super awesome, so I had to get it. But now let's get into the movies. First up from Warner Brothers is Nice Guys. Now this one really surprised me. I heard some mixed things about it, but I really enjoyed the heck out of it. It's basically a buddy cop comedy movie with a film noir or neo-noir style to it. Some twists and turns, a great storyline, and I like the chemistry right there from the two leads, Ryan Gosling and Russell Crowe, and the dynamic between Ryan Gosling and the daughter as well, and Kim Basinger's in here too. Great supporting cast, and this is directed by Shane Black, who is a fantastic writer. He wrote the first Lethal Weapon. He wrote the screenplay for Last Boy Scout, which is one of my all-time, it's probably my all-time favorite action movie, and also rewrote the screenplay for Last Action Hero. He worked on the sequel to Lethal Weapon, and he also co-wrote The Monster Squad with Fred Dekker, so that's just another feather in his cap. He's done some of my favorite movies right there, The Last Boy Scout and The Monster Squad, both all-time classics in my opinion. He's actually working on directing and I believe writing the screenplay for the new Predator sequel, and he actually starred in the first Predator movie as Hawkins as well. So a lot of experience in the action genre, and this had some good action sequences in it as well. And I would definitely recommend the heck out of this one. Very intriguing from start to finish, and it's basically they're trying to solve this mystery of this missing porn star, and it finds out there's a lot of government conspiracy involved, and you know they're in way over their heads. And I definitely recommend this one if you like. Again, one's a detective and one's kind of like a tough guy, kind of like a hired tough guy, not necessarily a hitman, but he beats people up essentially, and they kind of start working together. So neither one of them are cops, but it has that kind of, you know, buddy cop comedy element to it. And again, has that neo-noir style that I think just both of those blend together really well. And a great director here with Shane Black, great writer as well. Directing-wise, I really didn't care for Iron Man 3. I thought that was the weakest of the trilogy there. And then I far prefer Nice Guys over Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. So if you like those movies that he's done already, I think you'll really enjoy this one. And the comedy elements really make this something enjoyable. And I really love it. It's basically set in the 70s. And it really has that feel down pat, so it's a good period piece. Nice slipcover right here. And special features are Always Bet on Black, basically talking about Shane Black and working with him. And then after that there's a making of right here, and just goes into detail about the 70s detective era style they had going on, and the cast. Next up is Clown. This one surprised the heck out of me, and why the heck did we just get this now here in America? Seems like the whole rest of the world had it for a year now out in Blu-ray. This came out from Anchor Bay. Nice slipcover right here. Has a I wish there's more special features. There's a making of feature right here with Eli Roth, one of the producers. And when I first saw it, I saw the trailer for it, and it was kind of like a fake trailer, and it had Eli Roth's name attached to it. Although at that time he had nothing to do with it, and he reached out and found the creator of John Watts. And he's like, hey, do you want to make this movie happen? And so they took that fake trailer and turned it into a real movie. And I thought this was incredibly unique and creepy. My only slight criticism was I wanted a little bit more from the ending. Besides that, I thought it was spectacular. This guy wants to basically take care of his son, the clown that they're going to have for his birthday party, canceled last minute, and he's a realtor, and he finds this old box with a clown suit in it, and he's like, okay, I'll put the clown suit on and be the clown for my son's birthday party and save the day. And then he puts it on, and then he can't get it off. He can't get the rubber nose off, he can't get the wig off, he can't get the suit off, and he finds out there's a lot more to the suit than he initially realized. And good supporting cast in here too. You've got Peter Stormare from Fargo, and he's been in a ton of other stuff, but I thought this one was super creepy, especially towards the end. You really see the development of the clown character, or cloying, and you learn some of the history of it as well. I thought that was really cool with how far in depth they went into the history with the book and everything like that. So this one was super creepy, and I would definitely recommend the heck out of that one as well. So the first two right off the bat, good recommendations for me. Next up from a Criterion Collection is Umberto D. This is a kind of just a heart-wrenching story right here. It's a neorealist masterpiece by Vittorio De Sica. It basically follows the lead character, Umberto D. He's an elderly pensioner just trying to make ends meet and survive on his pension during Italy's post-war economic recovery. And it's just him, he owes money to his landlord, and she's going to kick him out if he doesn't come with the full back rent, and he doesn't have enough money to essentially live and eat and survive, and he's doing anything he can, and he has this little dog that's his only companion, Flike, who's adorable. But here's the one thing about this. I just noticed this. I watched this movie before, I was enamored with it, and after the second viewing right here, I have to say I like it a little bit less, but it's still a cinematic masterpiece in my opinion, and I think any cinephile should view this at least once in their life. But the one thing I did notice that I Googled afterwards, and I couldn't find anything about it. There's two different dogs in this movie. There is, right here, after I was done watching it, I didn't notice the first time around. I watched it years ago, but this was, I believe, a different cover initially than the previous release. This is the Blu-ray release for it. And the dog's face right there by the eyes are white. And then I looked on there, there's certain scenes, especially towards the end, you notice that there's black or dark brown around the eyes. It's in black and white. So I was like, wait a minute. So I went back and forth, and there's two different dogs in this movie, and I couldn't find anywhere online or anything about it being two separate dogs. They mentioned one dog who I guess was a dog actor. I believe the dog's name is Napoleon, playing the character of Flike on here. Very tragic ending, very sad, but it does have a bit of an upbeat. But the ending really pulls at your heartstrings the most, and it's basically just dealing with him trying to find shelter and just dealing with how people treat him as well. Just kind of human kindness seems to have gone away. Everybody's dealing with their own struggle and doesn't want to deal with, you know, him, who people are saying basically, you see it in several other characters as well around, because he's elderly, they're just, you know, not really paying him as much attention, and he put in so much effort and life into the government and things around him. So heartbreaking story, definitely one that I recommend if you're into classic cinema, and just heart-wrenching, tragic. I love that cute little dog, though. The ending is really what elevates that film to me. Next up is Pit Stop right here. This is a Jack Hill classic. I feel like this deserves way more credit. This is a great mixture of crash and bang, racing action, and some emotional drama. Sid Haig, phenomenal in his character, is Hawk Sidney on here. And then you also have Dick Davalos, who is the lead right here, and he's kind of a drag racer who gets involved in this, basically it's a Circle 8 racetrack, and there's a lot of crashes and stuff because there's an intersection, and he gets involved with the promoter and goes back and forth. So there's another character in here too later, and they get involved to kind of like a bigger racing event, and you have a young Ellen Bernstein here too, Burstein, and she was fantastic too. But the two leads really drove the performance in here, and great live action. They used a lot of real settings too, racetracks and the bar. It was apparently $35,000 for this film, which is just mind-blowing considering how phenomenal this movie was. And if you like racing movies, action movies like that, tons of palpable action in there. Car crashes all throughout, racing, fight scenes, but then a lot of emotional drama, especially towards the end. And you see the evolution, especially of Sid Haig's character, which I absolutely loved. Loved his performance in here. I would definitely recommend the heck out of this. From Arrow Video. This is good special features on here, and it's region A and B. This is the old school artwork. I have mixed feelings about the artwork. I think the artwork could have been better. I didn't really like the newly commissioned one. It does, you know, stand out, but it's just kind of basic. And it goes by the other movie, the other title rather, The Winner. And again, Arrow Video is one of the best companies out there releasing newly commissioned artwork, reversible artwork, Blu-ray DVD combo set right there with disc artwork. You got an advertisement for other Arrow Video releases, and then you got the booklet right there going in depth about lots of information on the film. There's Sid Haig with hair back in the day, and this is another one of the team-ups with Jack Hill and Sid Haig, Spider Baby. They did a bunch of other ones too. Fantastic release and fantastic movie. Next up is one I have not seen yet, and that is The Bloodstained Butterfly, also from Arrow Video, and this is from Duccio Tesario. And this is basically Tessari. And it's Tessari. But it's basically a mixture of giallo and courtroom drama. A young woman is found murdered in a park, and they think they know who it is, but there's twists and turns, and not everything is as it seems, of course. But there's some well-known actors in here as well. Genre mainstay Evelyn Stewart, who's in The Psychic and The Case of the Scorpion's Tail, and a score from Gianni Ferrari. And it looks like it's going to be filled with great special features, so I'm looking forward to checking it out. Again, there's the disc artwork right there, and I'll show you, there's the newly commissioned artwork. I think I prefer the old school artwork, actually. I don't know, that looks like an emo band cover album to me right there, the newly commissioned artwork. I think I like that old school artwork a lot better. It just pops, colorful, and works for the title as well, The Bloodstained Butterfly. And again, you've got the booklet in here, which, again, tons of information if you're a fan of the film. I really appreciate that. Arrow Video is just killing it. Again, if you're a collector of Blu-rays, this is the complete release right there. So fantastic. Next up are two releases from Flicker Alley, which I haven't seen either one of them, but Flicker Alley does an amazing job on the releases. They deserve way more attention as a company. These are both film noir films, and this one was rediscovered here, Woman on the Run. It's basically about a husband who's separated from the wife, and the husband witnesses a gangland execution. The cops are trying to find him, and she doesn't know where he is, but she tries to find him with the help of I believe a newspaper reporter, and lots of drama involved. And again, they do a great job too. You get the Blu-ray edition, and then you behind that you get the DVD edition as well, and there's a booklet, which is always nice, and there's interior artwork. So they do a fantastic job as far as their releases go. And for me, they deserve so much more attention. I never hear anybody talk about this company, Flicker Alley. They had a really great Charlie Chaplin release, and SNA Classics, which I showed before, and a really great Sherlock Holmes film too, which that was, I think, newly found. And this one right here was rescued and preserved right here, and they thought it was gone. So they found it, and then they worked with the UCLA Film and Television Archive to restore it. So very cool. And this one right here, basically husband and wife find $60,000, and they kind of argue about what to do with it, and they find somebody who says it's there. So lots of drama going on. Can't wait to check those film noirs out. Next up is from Warner Brothers, Me Before You. Emilia Clarke is stunning. Basically a romance movie. I haven't seen this one yet. She's a caretaker for this guy who is disabled after an accident. He's wheelchair bound right there, played by Sam Claflin. And so it looks like it's going to be heartwarming, and he doesn't think he has much to live for, and she tries to show him otherwise. And opens his heart up, I'm sure. Next up are 3 copies of The Bodyguard from Well Go USA. Once I view it and review it, I'll do a giveaway for 2 copies. So look forward to that. I have a bunch of giveaways coming up soon. Basically, a retired special agent goes to a quiet village on the Russia-China border, and he gets involved with the mob there. The young girl who's put in his care by the father has a debt with the mob, and he goes disappearing, and he basically has to take over his duties as a bodyguard for the young girl and figure out what's going on. Next up, this one, I just saw the trailer. It looks so freaking bizarre. It's from Artsploitation Films. I love their first series of Blu-ray releases. Bloody Knuckles, highly recommend the heck out of them. A great horror comedy movie dealing with free speech. Reminds me a lot of Idle Hands. Just hilarious, and would recommend that so much. Bloody Knuckles, check it out. And Cub as well, great release from them. Their new wave of Blu-ray releases has been really weird and not my cup of tea personally. This one right here is basically about a student who he rents a room in a bunker-style house, and he's basically teaching the young kid who's from the family. The family's really bizarre. The young kid is an 8-year-old who, despite being German and learning challenged, is being home-groomed to become the President of the United States. And I don't know if it's just me, but he kind of looks a little bit like a young Donald Trump right there. Actually, not even a young Donald Trump, just a kind of a Donald Trump-esque look to him. So I don't know if that was on purpose or not. But this looks super crazy and wacky. I'll be checking that out soon. Next up from Olive Films are the next 3 releases, American Ninja 1 and American Ninja 2. Now, I've only seen American Ninja, and I think I saw one of the sequels, but I don't think it was the second one. I think I saw like the 3rd one, which I don't think had Michael Dudikoff in it. But the first one, Michael Dudikoff and Steve James, he's in the military on an island, and he had an accident where he can't remember his youth, and he finds out that he was trained in the ninja arts, and he uncovers this kind of corruption scandal, and there's a romance involved, and he's kicking butt, and overall an enjoyable, cheesy 80s action movie that I would definitely recommend checking out if you like ninja action movies. Next up, the sequel, which again, I haven't seen this one, but I guess they go on an island, Steve James and Michael Dudikoff, and they're looking for missionaries, and they're kicking butt again. And I'm sure there's going to be a romance aspect in there because there's a girl right there, and that's, you know, the formula for cheesy 80s action movies. Next up, last but not least from Olive Films is Tell Me That You Love Me, Junie Moon. I don't know about that title, but Liza Minnelli's in there, and Ken Howard as well. And it's basically about 3 people living together. They were in a hospital together, and she was the victim of an acid attack, although you can't really tell from the back. And then she's also living with a gay paraplegic and an epileptic, and they're just going through the life aspects of life, romance, and things like that. And they're trying to deal with it together. So, looks intriguing. Hope you guys enjoyed this update, and let me know if you've seen any of these movies as well. And once I do view the ones that I haven't seen, I'll do reviews for them. And again, I'll do the giveaway for Bodyguard coming up soon. So, hope everybody's doing well. Take care.